The forecast called for gentle rain, a quiet love, a soft refrain. But I should have read the warning signs in the distance of your eyes. We set our sails for golden skies, but a silent storm began to rise. And now I'm learning how to breathe in the valleys of the waves, trying desperately to save this vessel you're ready to leave. On this love's ocean, I am drifting alone, tossed by the memory of how our love was thrown into the deep blue of your indecisions. Tight, I'm clinging to the wreckage with my pride inside. On this rough ocean, love is sinking slow, and I'm just waiting for the light to show me where to go. Your words were cliffs so cold and tall. My whisper, please, began to fall like scattered rain upon the sea, where you're calm and everything to me. Now the silence is the loudest sound as this lonely water spins me round, and every star I navigate by has been swallowed by the cloud of every doubt you said aloud and left unanswered in your sight. On this love's ocean, I am drifting alone, tossed by the memory of how love was thrown into the deep blue of your indecisions. Tied, I'm clinging to the wreckage with my pride inside. On this rough ocean, love is sinking slow, and I'm just waiting for the light to show me where to go. They say the sea forgives, forgets the shore, but my heart's a coastline shattered. One more of the peace we promised in the shallows so secure. Now I'm lost in a love that has no cure. Salt on my skin, tears in the sea, wash over what's left of you and me. On this rough ocean, just me, on this endless sea, finally free. I found them boxed behind the cupboard, Valentines from 23. You wrote love you forever on it, guess forever came with fees. The chocolates melted white and cracked like promises you can't take back. I remember how you'd bring them home, saying sweet things from my sweet girl. Now sweetness tastes like bitter stones in a lonely, hollow world. I hold one up to candlelight, it crumbles softly in the night. Sugar doesn't heal the hollow, honey doesn't stop the ache. Every piece I try to swallow is a memory I can't shake. I'm crying chocolate tears tonight, bittersweet and dark as midnight. Every drop tastes like the goodbye that you didn't have the nerve to say. I'm crying chocolate tears alone. has your fingerprint still pressed into the foil, a tiny piece of evidence of love that used to toil. Now it's just a candy grate for every sweet word you never gave. Sugar doesn't heal the hollow, honey doesn't stop the ache. Every piece I try to swallow is a memory I can't shake. I'm crying chocolate tears tonight, bittersweet and dark as midnight. Every drop tastes like the goodbye that you didn't have the nerve to say. I'm crying chocolate tears alone in this empty, half-empty home, wishing I could melt into your arms and wash the hurt away. If love is like a chocolate box, you never know what you will get. I opened mine and found the rocks and a lifetime of regret. The sweetest things can turn so sour when left too long without the love's power. I'm crying chocolate tears tonight, letting go with every bite. Maybe someday I'll taste sweetness without thinking of your face, but tonight I'll let the darkness hold me gently in its grace. Crying chocolate tears, melting into space. Chocolate tears, melting away like you did. The clock reads 3:17. I reach across the mattress to where you used to be. Just cold sheets and emptiness. Your bedside lamp is still turned on. You always left it burning. Now it's just the dawn of a lifetime of yearning. The book you're reading still has a page. Turn down to chapter 23. I trace the words, I feel the rage of all the things you said to me, but also all the things you didn't. The silences that cut so deep, the promises that you had hidden, the secrets that you'll always keep. I press my face into your pillow, hoping for a trace of scent, but even that's become a shadow, fading out as time is spent. Cold bedside, empty space where you used to hold me safe. I'm reaching out into the night, hoping somehow you'll hold me tight. Cold bedside, frozen sheets where my lonely heart still beats, counting rhythms all alone in a bed that's not a home. The laundry basket holds your shirt, the one I said I loved the best. I pick it up, it still has dirt from our last walk before the rest. I hold it to my face and breathe, and for a moment you weren't here, but it's a lie I must believe to make it through another year. I press my face into your pillow, hoping for a trace of scent, but even that's become a shadow, as time is spent. Cold bedside, empty space where you used to hold me safe. I'm reaching out into the night, hoping somehow you'll hold me tight. Cold bedside, frozen sheets where my lonely heart still beats, counting rhythms all alone in a bed that's not a home. They say time heals everything, but time just makes the coldness sting more acutely, more aware of the empty lying there. I curl into a tiny ball in the center of it all, trying to take up less space so the cold won't find my face. Cold bedside, I'm still here, wishing you would reappear, not to stay, just to explain why you left me in this pain. Cold bedside, I'll survive, learn to keep my heart alive, but tonight I'll just pretend that the cold will someday end, someday end. Cold bedside, my only friend. Cold bedside. I took the highway to the edge of the state to escape the vibration of a localized fate. I drove through the mountains and I drove through the plain, trying to wash out the blood-colored stain. But the radio played that one song that you liked, and the needle of my memory suddenly spiked. It doesn't matter where I go or what I do, every road leads back to you. A different side exit, a different side town, but the ghost of your presence is still around. I'm driving in circles, I'm chasing the blue, but every road leads back to you. GPS is telling me to turn back around to the quietest corner where I forever was found. I'm a fugitive of us, I'm a runner of them, in the middle of the how and the where and the when. I could go north or I could go west to a fearless sanctuary and priority test, but the maps are all written in the ink of your name, and the end of the journey is always the same. It doesn't matter where I go or what I do, every road leads back to you. A different side exit, a different side town, but the ghost of your presence is still around. I'm driving in circles, I'm chasing the blue, but every road leads back to you. maple tree, a skeletal, a web of black on gray, against the cold November sky at the end of fall's decay. But one leaf holds on stubbornly, a flare of rusty red, a single trembling note of life, not yet quietly dead. And buried it clings to a slender outermost twig so high, a final bold resistance to the wind's determined sigh and the coming snow. I am that last autumn leaf, clinging to a branch of them, refusing to believe the season's over once again, holding out for a phantom spring that won't come back for me. Everyone else has let go, falling to become the tree's new nourishment, but I hang on, a brittle lonely prayer, a testament to a love that's no longer in the air but in my grip. The wind tugs at my edges, whispering, let go, it's time to join the others in the soft and dark below. But my stem is tight with memory of the sun that warmed this place, when the branch was full and verdant, and I could see your face through the green of fall is to admit the photosynthesis is done, that the light of you that fed me has been eclipsed by a colder sun and a longer night. I am that last autumn leaf, clinging to a branch of them, refusing to believe the season's over once again, holding out for a phantom spring that won't come back for me. Everyone else has let go, falling to become the tree's new nourishment, but I hang on, a brittle lonely prayer, a testament to a love that's no longer in the air but in my grip. Maybe there's a dignity in being the last one left to witness to the ending of being so bereft of company that you become a symbol stark and plain. Maybe when I finally fall, it will release the pain and the letting go, but for now I'll be the last autumn leaf, bold and absurd, the final clinging punctuation of a love's last word on the page of this tree. Just one leaf, last autumn leaf, holding on until the stem just breaks. A single, raw, and resonant acoustic guitar. For years I carried us both. I was the engine and the fuel. I was the navigator, the captain, the deck and the rule. I planned our future, mapped our route, anticipated every storm. I kept us moving forward, kept us safe, kept us warm. You rode in the passenger seat, watching the scenery pass. You make occasional suggestions, but you never touched the gas. You said you were along for the ride, that you would trust in my design. You said my love was enough for two. You said your heart was mine. But I carried us both and my back is broken now. I carried your weight, your doubts, your distance, you're somehow always being just out of reach. I carried your potential, your someday or maybe. I carried the hope that you'd eventually carry me, baby. I carried us both and I'm tired, I'm so tired, I can't stand you. Had two working arms, two working legs, two working hands, but you never used them, you never carried anyway. I carried us both and now I'm closing the gate. I didn't mind at first, I was strong, I was capable, I was game. I thought if I just carried us far enough, you'd eventually do the same. I thought you were resting, gathering strength for the long haul ahead. I thought you'd see my sacrifice and rise from your passenger bed, but you never did. You got comfortable in your seat, you got used to the ride, to the rhythm of my feet pounding the pavement. You got used to not having to steer, and I got used to carrying the weight of your presence, the weight of your cheer. But I carried us both and my back is broken now. I carried your weight, your doubts, your distance, you're somehow always being just out of reach. I carried your potential, your someday or maybe. I carried the hope that you'd eventually carry me, baby. I carried us both and I'm tired, I'm so tired, I can't stand you. Had two working arms, two working legs, two working hands, but you never used them, you never carried anyway. I carried us both and now I'm closing the gate. I'm not carrying anything anymore, I've set down the low. I'm sitting on the side of the road, catching my breath on this cold of silence. I'm learning that I don't have to carry anyone to be worthy of love. I'm learning that I am enough even when I'm not carrying the weight of, not carrying the weight anymore. And I carried us both, but I'm not carrying you anymore. I'm not carrying the weight, I'm not carrying the score. I'm not carrying the hope that you'll eventually change. I'm not carrying the burden of your emotional range. I carried us both, but now I only carry me. And it's light, and it's easy, and it's finally free. I used to stand beside you in the light, and we would cast one shadow, you and me. Two bodies woven into one so tight, the world could only see our unity. Now I walk alone beneath the sun, and there's just one shape following my feet. The half of us that stayed when you had run, the silhouette of someone incomplete. A shadow needs a body to exist, but I am both the body and the ghost, the proof of what I'll always miss, the thing I need the most. just a shadow. That's what I've become. Walking through the still has sun. Just a shadow, no substance, no way. Just the outline of a broken fate. I follow light but never feel its warmth. I stand in crowds but never find my form. Just a shadow since you went away. The dimmest version of the light of day. Remember how we danced beneath the moon, our shadows swaying on the garden wall. We thought our love would be in perfect tune, forever, never faltering or small. But moons must wane and gardens lose their bloom, and dancers must eventually sit down. Now I'm just practicing in an empty room, the steps of love with nobody around. A shadow needs a body to exist, but I am both the body and the ghost, the proof of what I'll always, always miss. The thing I need the most, just a shadow. That's what I've become. Walking through where the still has sun. Just a shadow, no substance, no way. Just the outline of a broken fate. I follow light but never feel its warmth. I stand in crowds but never find my form. Just a shadow since you went away. The dimmest version of the light of day. But shadows only live where light can reach. So maybe I should find a darker place. Maybe I should let the darkness teach me how to live without a trace of who I was when you were here, of who I'll never be again. Just a shadow, I'm learning now to find my shape. I'm learning how. Just a shadow I take about what we were and what we're not. I'll find my own light, I'll cast my own light. Just a shadow, but I'll still fight to stand alone in my own light. My own light. Just a shadow. There was no announcement, no press release, no formal decree. No one sent out notifications that we had ceased to be. Our love wasn't cancelled with a bang, with a scandal, with a fight. It was cancelled quietly in the dark, in the night. One day the subscription just expired, the automatic payment stopped. The service of our love was terminated, the connection dropped. No warning, no explanation, no customer service to call. Love's quiet cancellation, the most silent fall of all. This is love's quiet cancellation, the end without an end. No final episode, no closing credits, no message to send. Just the gradual realization that the show is no longer on. The channel changed. kept expecting a renewal, a revival, a reason to keep watching. But the network of your heart had canceled the program. Love's quiet cancellation, the ultimate exam. I'm canceling my own subscription now to the memory of you, to the hope that you come back, to the idea that we were true. I'm unsubscribing from the newsletter of our past. Love's quiet cancellation, the silence that will last. Love's quiet cancellation. I'm canceling it too. I'm canceling the cancellation. I'm renewing the subscription to my own life, my own love. We started as a tight knot, two strands woven into one, so intertwined, so tangled. We thought we'd come undone. If we ever tried to separate, we thought we were permanent, fixed. We thought our love was the kind it couldn't be unmixed. But knots can loosen, given time and tug, and where the tension that held us together became the tension of despair. Thread by thread, you pulled away, loop by loop, I let go. Love slow unwinding, the most patient, quiet woe. This is love slow unwinding, a gentle coming loose. Not a cut, not a rip, not a violent noose, just the gradual relaxation of the grip we held so tight. Love slow unwinding, the fading of the light. I felt it happening, felt the strands grow slack and thin. I tried to retie and not to pull the tension back in, but love slow unwinding cannot be reversed. It's the final quiet stanza of our love first verse. The first thread loosened when you stopped asking about my day. The second when your I love yous became something you'd say by rote, not by heart. The third when you forgot our song. The fourth when you stayed late at work and the nights grew long. The fifth when you stopped reaching for my hand in the dark. The sixth when our conversations became a one-note art. The seventh when I realized I was the only one still holding tight. Love slow unwinding cannot be reversed. It's the final quiet stanza of our love's first verse. Now the knot is completely undone. Two separate strands of thread, not tangled, not woven, not bound, just two lines. It's not broken, it's just free. It's not damaged, it's just laid. Love's unwinding. It took years to complete, but now the night is loose. The strands are separate, the tension is released. Love's so unwinding. I hold my strand in my hand. It's not attached to yours anymore. It's just mine. My own length, my own weight, my own thread. Love so unwinding. I started as a tight knot. I used to love with my whole chest, but abandoning with faith. I used to give myself completely, never thinking of the wraith of loss that might await me at the end of every try. I used to leap without looking, trust without asking why. But you taught me caution, you taught me to hold back. You taught me that love is a deficit, a dead-end attack on my own resources. You taught me that giving everything away is not a strength but a weakness. It's not a prayer, it's a prayer. This is my diminished capacity, my reduced ability to feel. You didn't just break my heart, you broke the entire deal. I had with love, you didn't just leave me. You left me afraid to try again, to trust again, to let a new love be made. My diminished capacity, I don't give as much as I could. I hold pieces back now, I protect my own goods. I used to love like a river, full and flowing and free. Now I love like a cautious stream, careful not to be. I started dating again last year. He's kind, he's good, he's stable. He shows up on time, he calls when he says he will. He's able to express his feelings. He's everything you weren't, and still I catch myself holding back, protecting, not giving my heart's percent. He asked me why I seem so distant sometimes, so reserved and slow. I said I'm just cautious, it takes me a while to know. I didn't tell him about you, I didn't tell him about the cost. I didn't tell him that the best parts of my loving are the parts I lost. This is my diminished capacity, my reduced ability to feel. You didn't just break my heart, you broke the entire deal. I had with love, you didn't just leave me. You left me afraid to try again, to trust again, to let a new love be made. My diminished capacity, I don't give as much as I could. I hold pieces back now, I protect my own goods. I used to love like a river, full and flowing and free. Now I love like a cautious stream, careful not to be. But streams can grow into rivers again, capacity can increase. The heart is a muscle, it can learn to release its grip on self-protection. I'm not broken, I'm just healing. I'm not diminished, I'm just learning a different way of feeling. My diminished capacity, but capacity can grow. I'm not the same lover I was before, you know, but I'm learning to love in a new, careful way. Not less, just different. Not diminished, just delayed. My diminished capacity, but every day a little more. Water in the river, every day a little more to pour. My diminished capacity, but I am not diminished. I am just beginning to be replenished. They speak of hearts as if they break a single clean edge crack, but mine did not just splinter. There was no turning back. It crumbled like a dynasty beneath a warring fist, a monument to us that no longer exists. Now it's just stone and memory, where ivy cuts the air. My heart, a ruined castle on a solitary stair. The great hall echoes with the ghosts of dances we once led. Our whispers haunt the ramparts where your tender words were said. The fireplace is cold now where our future burns so bright, and every shattered window frames a different kind of night. The drawbridge is forever up, the portcullis is sealed by the devastation that your final goodbye revealed. And I am the lone, lone ruler of this desolate domain, feeling every winter, bearing every sting of rain, walking through the rubble of a love that was my home. Now I wander these ruins, and I wander them alone. My heart, a ruined castle on a cliff above the sea, a beautiful abandoned piece of history. Tourists might come looking for a tale of old romance. They'll only see the damage, they won't see the way we danced. The point inside fallen towers at the overgrown regret, a cautionary legend that the world will soon forget. But I remember every room before the siege began, when you were still my king and I your biggest fan. And now I'm the last century, keeping watch on empty years, counting all the losses, swallowing the tears, living in the shadow of a wood magnificence we made, watching as the colors of our banner slowly fade. My heart, a ruined castle where the wild roses climb, frozen in the moment, out of step with time. Perhaps a ruin holds more beauty than a perfect guarded key, a promise even silence and decay can't cheapen. So I won't rebuild, I'll let the moss and memories entwine. The sacred broken kingdom will forever still be mine. My heart, a ruined castle has been a desert for so long, dry and dusty, singing the same old song of loneliness and missing you, of not knowing what to do. The cracks run deep across the ground. No water, no life, no sound, just the wind blowing through, just the memory of you. And then today the clouds rolled in, and the rain began to begin. Soft at first, then hard and fast. Rainfall on the dusty path. Rainfall on dust, making mud. Rainfall on dust, a flood of tears from heaven, tears from me, washing away the misery. Rainfall on dust, making things grow. Rainfall on dust, letting me know that even deserts can bloom again, that even love can mend. I stood outside and let it pour, let it soak me more and more. I felt the water on my skin, letting the new life in. The dust that was my heart for years finally softened by the tears. Finally ready to receive, finally ready to believe that life goes on after loss, that you can carry the cross and still find a way to smile after every single mile. Rainfall on dust, making mud. Rainfall on dust, a flood of tears from heaven, tears from me, washing away the misery. Rainfall on dust, making things grow. Rainfall on dust, letting me know that even deserts can bloom again, that even love can mend. I don't know what will grow from this, I don't know what I'll miss, but something green is pushing through, something fresh, something new. Rainfall on dust, I welcome you. Rainfall on dust, making all things new. I'm ready now to start again, to let the new life in. Rainfall on dust, rainfall on dust. Let the growing begin. The hallway stretches long and deep, where memories are mine to keep. Each door a chapter, each room a year of loving you, of holding dear. I walk it slow, I close the day, hoping you'll come out and play. But every door is shut and still, against my broken will. The silent hallway, this empty space where I can't find your face. The echoes of your footsteps gone left me here to carry on this silent bedroom door, where we were once so much more. I pressed my ear against the wood, hoping you understood. Maybe hallways lead somewhere, maybe answers are in the air. Maybe walking through the quiet helps me learn to navigate it. This silent hallway, this empty space where I can't find your face. The echoes of your footsteps gone left me here to carry on this silent hallway, my lonely place. My lonely place. Remember when the wire was a lifeline, twisting around my finger while you laughed? We'd whisper dreams until the morning sunshine, building a world on a telephonic draft. You were the pulse inside the plastic receiver, the steady hum that kept the cold away. But now the signal's fraying at the edges. I'm calling out into a hollow space. I'm standing on the ledge of broken pledges, searching for the frequency of your face. It's just white noise where your I love you used to be, a digital desert between you and me. I'll leave the phone off the hook tonight, hoping the silence carries my regret. Even if the airwaves don't make it right, I haven't learned how to disconnect yet. Just a ghost of a ring in a quiet house, static on the line, quiet as a mouse. I've become an expert in the art of holding dust. I cut my hands around the memory, around the fading trust. I try to keep the particles contained, try to keep them from the air. But dust is not meant to be held, it's meant to disappear. It slips through the cracks between my fingers, escapes through the gaps in my palms. It rises in tiny clouds, performs its quiet songs. Of departure I open my hands to see what I have kept, and there's almost nothing there, just a film, just a concept. This is the art of holding dust, the practice of keeping what is gone. I try to preserve the evidence of you, to hold on to the dawn that never really The art of holding dust is the art of letting go. It's the art of opening your hands and watching the residue blow away on the wind. The art of holding dust is the art of release. It's the art of making peace with the irreplaceable peace. I used to think that if I just held tightly enough, you'd stay. I thought my grip was a measure of my love. The only way to prove my devotion, I thought holding on was strength. I didn't know that holding on could be a weapon, a length of chain. I didn't know that dust is not a thing to keep. It's the evidence of what was once solid, now asleep. It's the residue of structure, the remnant of the form. Holding dust is not preservation, it's just keeping warm. This is the art of holding dust, the practice of keeping what is gone. I try to preserve the evidence of you, to hold on to the dawn that never really came. I try to keep the particles of us alive in my palms, but dust is not for holding, dust is for the dust. The art of holding dust is the art of letting go. It's the art of opening your hands and watching the residue blow away on the wind. The art of holding dust is the art of release. It's the art of making peace. It's the irreplaceable peace. Today I open my hands and let the dust go. I watched it rise and scatter in the golden evening glow. It sparkled in the sunlight, beautiful and free. And I thought dust was never meant to stay with me. The art of holding dust, I finally mastered it. Not by holding tighter, by and dance away. The sweater's lost your scent. It's just old wool and thread. The photographs are facts inside my head. I've packed away the gifts, the notes, I've stored them all. But there's a ghost I can't box up at all. It's the touch I recall. A silent conversation drawing near. The weight of your head resting on my lower back. A simple steady anchor, nothing like a permanent imprint of fading perfect fact. It's not the words you said when we were falling. It's not the fights that led to our departing. It's the quiet peace of your palm on my cheek. A language without words, so soft, so unique. Memory holds the big things, but they fall compared to the echo of the touch I recall. My skin is just my skin now, alone. whispers of the touch I recall. New hands might reach for me, and maybe one day I'll try, but my soul memory is a loyal, stubborn lie. It maps a constellation only you knew how to trace on the lonely atlas of this empty space. So let the world move loud and fast and bright. I'll sit here in the quiet of the night, with the ghost of a feeling, the softest fall of the touch, the impossible touch, the touch I recall. I'm wearing the dress you always loved the most, and lighting the candles on this coastal post. I've made your favorite meal, it's sitting, getting cold. A story of surrender that's about to be told. This isn't an end, but it's a final decree, a quiet, desperate prayer, just you and me. I'm laying down my weapons, my excuses and my fears. My last battalion is these falling tears. One final charge into the great unknown, before I face this future on my own. This is love's last stand on this familiar ground, where every hope we planted can be found. I'm raising up a flag of pure white, see it wave, not for victory, but for the love I couldn't save. So look around, remember what we built by hand, before you turn and go at love's last stand. The silence between us has become a solid wall. I'm shouting through the bricks, but I'm about to fall. So let me say it clearly, there's no fight left in me. I love you utterly, but I need you to see the emptiness in your eyes. It's the final, fatal blow, and loving you means knowing a song about this quiet defeat. No epic crashing ending, just the slow retreat of a heart that loved too fiercely to demand a single, simple, caring hand. So I stand down, the candles flicker out, the last stand is done. My love, you won by leaving me. My love, you're It wasn't a bang or a crash in the night. It wasn't a scream or a flickering light. It was a slide of a zipper, the turn of a key, the softest of thefts taking you from me. I sat on the edge of the mattress and prayed for a storm to roll in, so you'd feel forced to stay. But oh, the sound of leaving is a terrible thing. It's the snap of a wire, the end of a spring. It's the gravel that crunches under the tire, the cooling of embers at the end of the fire. It's quieter than breathing, but louder than pain. The sound of you leaving, like soft summer rain. You didn't say much, just I'm sorry I tried. Well, I kept the hurricane locked up inside. The click of the latch was a final amen to a story I'll never be reading again. Now the house has a heartbeat that's out of its sync, and I'm standing alone by a dirty glass sink. I take the shouting, I take the debris, if it meant that you still had a reason for me. But the silence you left is a deafening roar, rolling like waves on a desolate shore. That was the sound, that was the end. This sweater's lost your scent, it's just old woolen thread. The photographs are facts inside my head. I've packed away the gifts, the notes, I've stored them all. But there's a ghost I can box up it all. It's the touch I recall, the way your thumb was wanna trace the line behind my ear. A silent conversation draw near. The weight of your hand resting on my lower back, a simple steady anchor, nothing like a permanent imprint, a fading perfect fact. It's not the words you said when we were falling, it's not the fights that led to our departing. It's the quiet peace of your palm on my cheek, the language without words, so soft, so unique. Memory holds the big things, but they fall compared to the echo of the touch I recall. My skin is just my skin now, a lonely frontier. No foreign warmth is ever coming near. And I can talk to strangers, I can laugh and pretend, but my body's still waiting for its old best friend, for the touch I recall. It's not the plans we made for some tomorrow, it's not the color of your pain or sorrow, it's the brush of your lips against my forehead at night, a shelter in the dark, everything felt right. History writes the stories, big and small, but my flesh just whispers of the touch I recall. New hands might reach for me, and maybe one day I'll try, but muscle memory is a loyal, stubborn lie. It maps a constellation only you knew how to trace on the lonely atlas of this empty space. So let the world move loud and fast and bright. I'll sit here in the quiet of the night with a ghost of a feeling, the softest form of the touches. The impossible touch, the touch I recall. I was dropping a glass in the kitchen today, and for a second the silence just melted away. I heard that staccato, the rise and that fall, the sound that used to bounce off every single wall. I turned my head quickly, I called out your name, but the shadows in the corner were exactly the same. Your laugh is a ghost in this house tonight, fading at the edges of the porch light away. A rhythmic disaster, I'm alive like Sting, the only kind of music that an empty room can bring. I'm haunted by the joy and I'm haunted by the then, in the middle of the where and the where and the when. It rings in the hallway, it rings in the hall, a localized record of having it all. I try to hum over it, I try to be loud, but I'm just a smudge in a charcoal gray cloud. I remember the joke and I remember the wine, back when your laugh is stubborn, and the echo is deep in the secrets and the promises I'm forced to keep. Your laugh is a ghost in this house tonight, fading at the edges of the porch light. White, a ripped disaster, a melodic sting, the only kind of music that an empty room can bring. I'm haunted by the joy, and I'm haunted by the thrill, and the weather and the wind. Still hearing it, still quiet.